85% of textile waste will make its way to a landfill, whether that's whole clothing items such as shirts or pants, scrap fabric, or threads. On average, it will take 200 years for those to decompose. In 2019, Tatiana Schultzberg reported from New York Times stating 60% of fabric fibers today are made out of synthetic material derived from fossil fuels. Now, this is all linked to the world of fast fashion. Sadly, I myself have taken part of fast fashion, not knowing what's going on the other side of the sales rack. I'd like to mainly speak upon 3 points today. The history of fast fashion and how it actually starts way before many people may think. The negative effects on the environment, as well as the lack of labor laws that fast fashion industries have, as well as using children as laborers. Now, I've gathered the following information from fashionista.com, written by Sarah Indicative in 2016. Now, we begin to look at the fast fashion timeline in the 1800s, where the Industrial Revolution gave many households more disposable income to buy fabric and make their own clothes. In 1846, the patent of a sewing machine was developed, allowing more women or men to make their clothes at home. We then move to the 1900s to 1950. Now, World War I and World War II had rations on fabric, but many women still made clothing at home. Unlike 1960, where we look at and really see the uprise or beginning of the fast fashion world. This is where we start to see the culture of loving cheap, disposable clothes. And we begin to look at the changing of styles, where every decade we really notice distinguishable clothing items or clothing pieces or colors. 2000, the internet really promoted fast fashion. Online stores such as Fashionista, Fashion Nova, Romwe, or Shein really put a damage on the fashion world. This allowed women or men to get clothing pieces for under $10 from China. It rapidly increased even brick and mortar stores such as Zara, H&M, or Forever 21. This is also when we begin to see the notice of the environmental change, which brings me to my next topic, the very negative effects on the clothing industry. The following information is from sustainyourstyle.com, the article Environmental Impact of Fashion Industry. And I think it's important to include the website header that states the fashion industry is the second largest polluter in the world. Now, the fashion industry does harm to a lot of things, including water pollution. Factories often have runoff of lead, mercury, and arsenic. Speaking of water, they also have a large consumption rate for cooling textile machines. Cooling textile machines often displaces the water temperature, harming aquatic life that may live in there. They also use an abundance of water to fertilize their cotton or materials. It is also known that there is microfibers in the ocean that can harm not only aquatic life, but humans. There's a quote from James Konka from Forbes magazine that cheap synthetic fibers also emit gases like N2O that is 300 times more dangerous than CO2. They also have chemical additives such as colors and cleaners, and 10% of global carbon emissions are from synthetic fibers. Now, sadly, that the fashion industry does not only harm the environment, but it can harm humans. The clothing industry is known for paying their workers little to no pay, and oftentimes locking in their workers. Now, this is not just a foreign affair. This is known to happen in Los Angeles, California, locking in their employees. And the US oftentimes has immigrant workers for working for them, making things that we think are good because it's made in the USA. China, Bangladesh, and Vietnam have stated that they use children as laborers. Dana Thomas from the New York Post, a veteran style writer who wrote the article How Fast Fashion is Destroying the Planet, states between 2006 and 2012, more than 500 Bangladesh garment workers died in factory fires because they were locked in. Rana Plaza factory collapsed in Bangladesh and killed 1,100 people and injured 25 other people. This is unacceptable. Now, majority of the stores that we know and love and shop at every weekend at the malls are doing harmful things to the environment and to other people, and it's unacceptable. And I'd like to leave with a comment from the dear designer Yves Saint Laurent. Fashion fades, but style is eternal. Thank you.